The last kind of thing I hope I want to get to on service quality is we had defined service as meeting or exceeding customer expectations. Well, that implies we have to know what customer expectations are. And one of the, we talked about the attributes that people can use to evaluate services in terms of making a purchase. The search, the credence, or what's the one in the middle? I just said that, the search, and then what's the one in the middle? So there's search attributes, there's credence, and what was it? Experiential, thank you. We have those, but when customers decide whether a service has been done well or not, these are dimensions that they use to evaluate a service. So reliability, again, this is getting to that consistency dimension of service. Is it the same all the time? Assurance and empathy. This is especially important. I've been in situations where you have to say no to a customer, and it's really hard to say no to a customer, but if you say no to a customer with empathy, you know, I heard what you said, I understand, the customer feels heard, and I can't do what we want to do, that's different than sorry. Next window, please. How quick you get back there, and then the tangibles. This gets back to the heuristics. What are we had talked about dealing with the intangibility characteristic of service is one of the ways is to find something that makes it tangible. So the certification, the doctors, what do they call those things that they, diplomas, yes, if I'd ever gotten a diploma, I would know what they are. And you don't know if I got a diploma or not. All you know is I got a suit. And it's not particularly a new suit. But the tangibles, again, when you go to a lawyer's office, if the carpet is really thick and plush, that would lead you to have expectations about the service that you would get from that law firm, as opposed to if you went to a lawyer's office and the lawyer was in a converted storefront. Again, you would the tangibles manage the expectation. It's a signal to what the service is going to be. Yes.
So, and assurance. What did we say about assurance?
Assurance is trust me. I know what I'm doing. You're in good hands with Allstate. And then, yeah, I was wrong. And then, if you're going to understand what customer expectations are, you need to know what they are. And that is done through market research. And then how do you know if you're meeting expectations? And one of the techniques that is used is called gap analysis. And gap analysis is measuring the difference between what expectations are and what is actually happening. And there are all kinds of gaps that you can measure. But before you need to do that, you have to understand what the expectations are. One of the ways to determine whether or not a service is being done properly is a secret shopper. Has anybody ever been secret shopped? Did you like it? Did you? Well, obviously you did a good job on your secret shopping. How about, did you like it? Yeah. And you? It was okay. Okay. Did the results of the secret shopping have an immediate impact on your pay or on your job?
No, they just gave us like a gift card if we did well.
Okay, so they just gave you a little gift card. So there was only rewards, there were no penalties.
Yeah, you switch all.
But if you don't get gift cards all the time, then you might have to. So that's the issue with secret shopping is if it's done well. And secret shopper is where you just hire somebody to pretend to be a customer and to observe the service. Sometimes secret shoppers are trained to be awful, just to test the limits of what you will do or how you will deal with an unreasonable or a nasty customer. Sometimes secret shoppers are just trying to monitor whether the service is well. And if the employees understand that secret shopping is happening and there's not a direct relationship between the spy and my job getting fired, that's acceptable. People get nervous about secret shopping when somebody comes in and then 3 people lose their job because we only got a 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. And then what do you do if service goes wrong? It happens. So the first thing you do is you take care of the customer. And this is this empathy and assurance. Let me understand your problem. The reason this is important is I am just having trouble finding words this morning. And the word that I'm looking for is when you have a service situation and there's a service failure, the first thing you need to do is listen to the customer, because the common knowledge is common wisdom, thank you, is that for every customer that complains, there are 9 that don't. So when you get a complaint, be grateful for them, because it's market research, it's new product ideas, it's recognizing that if one person's complaining, that there's probably 9 others that had that same issue that didn't complain. So first, be responsive. And then the next thing is deal with the customer, and many times there's an emotional component to a complaint. You've heard the saying, the customer is always right. That's not true. Customers lie, customers cheat, customers steal. So the customer is not always right. So the first thing is to take care of the customer, understand the problem. The second thing is to deal with the problem. Can I make an adjustment? Can I make the customer whole? Do I need to be really empathetic and say no? And then when you're done with that, take a step back and say, was this just a one-off problem, or is this a symptom of something that needs to be fixed in my service delivery program? And that's where it become a measure of service quality, is if I get lots of complaints about this one particular thing, then maybe I need to fix that particular thing as opposed to blame the customers. You had a comment?
Do you think that 1 of 10 is still relevant in today's, with the internet and Yelp, where it actually seems like the ones talking are the complainers?
So the comment is, do you think that 1 out of 10 actually complains is true in the world of Yelp and 1-star reviews? It's a good question. I haven't seen any research to the contrary. I can say from personal experience that I have never gone on Yelp and complained. Of course, I never have problems with products. I just go in the classroom and let you all have it. Yes.
Well, I feel like more often than not, like working in a restaurant, like I've gone on my restaurant's Yelp, and like I know exactly who the customer was that like went and left that nasty review, and they don't make a comment in the restaurant. So it's the people that like don't say anything in person, that go on behind a computer screen, and then they say all the things that went wrong when it comes to
That's a great observation, is that under the shield of anonymity,
right.
people are more likely to say what they really mean than they are in person. But again, are there more people who do that, or are they just more willing to share? Yeah, that's a good question. I am going to look for research in that area, because I don't know the answer to that. And until I'm proven wrong, it's going to be true, because it's still on the test. I'm the boss and you're not. Yes, sir, Professor Robertson, sir. Okay.